6:02. The meeting is now called to order. At this time, we're going to go ahead and have the colors. Would you please lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Prepare to post. Colors. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March.
Item number 3, establishment of quorum.
Rene Rodriguez.
Here.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Ralph Duran.
Here.
Mayor Elia Garcia.
Here.
Victor Perez.
Here.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Public comment.
Naomi Reza. Ms. Reza, you have 3 minutes.
Okay. I'm pro Article 34. My name is Noemi Reza and I live at 440 Hueleta in Socorro. I barely starting a non-profit organization. I have an acre that I wanna work with the Department of Agriculture to teach kids and make it like a small farm therapeutic farm for kids that has special needs. Thank you.
Paul Guerra. Mr. Guerra, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening. Mayor Garcia, City Council members, my name is Paul Guerra, and the reason why I want to talk to you today is I live here in Socorro, and I've been here for 18 years. My wife's a teacher here at Sanchez Middle School, and she's been teaching here for about 18, 19 years. We have 16-year-old triplets, and 2 of my kids attend Socorro High School, and my other son attends East Lake High School. I'm also on the city not city council. I'm also on the school board for the school district here in Socorro, and I've been there for 10 years. And the reason why I want to come and talk to you is I love the city of Socorro, and I'm glad that on item number 29, y'all are discussing for additional staff for the police department here for the safety of our community. As you all know, in the past couple of months, we've had a lot of shootings here in the city of Socorro, and I hope you're all aware of that. And unfortunately, we had a fatality that just happened less than a month ago. A student was killed, and we had to enforce metal detectors in our high school. That was something we didn't want to do, but we know that the times have changed. Times have changed completely now with social media and so forth, and our number one priority is our safety in our community, safety for our children in our schools. We want to make sure when they go to school that they're safe. I live here in Socorro. I've been here for 18 years, and I don't want to leave here in Socorro. I want to stay here for another 30, 40 more years. But I want to make sure we have a safe and learning environment and a safe community. So I'm hoping that you all will decide to pass for getting more additional staff for our police department. And if any time you all need help from our department and our police department for Socorro ISD, to your all's, please, let's work together. Let's work together as a team. And it's all for the safety of our students and safety for our community. Thank you.
Jesse Montelongo. Mr. Montelongo, you have 3 minutes.
Am I speaking on this one or the 29 or 34?
You're signed up for public comment and item number 34.
Okay, well this is for the same one. I'm going to elaborate on, piggyback on him. Okay, I do want you all to consider the police department expansion. It's a blessing. Times have changed, like Mr. Guerra just said. I also work along with the SISD, along with the city of Socorro, and we just rebooted our Crime Watch program, starting this Saturday. Mrs. Villalobos will be present for District 4, and I would like, I've mentioned it to the board before, if you all don't have time and you are very busy, I would love to go to your neighborhood and start the Crime Watch neighborhood in your neighborhoods, in your districts. I don't mind knocking on doors and talking to people for you and getting the first meeting going. After that, you all can take over. But I'm here for you guys, and I'm here for the police department. I'm on the Civil Service Commission for the police department, and I'm also there for I'm not just doing Crime Watch, and Crime Watch is not about fingering each other. It's about looking out for each other and protecting each other. And the police department has been doing a great job with the new ordinances. We need to update our ordinances. Noise disturbances is one of them. That's the biggest one we have at District 4. That's our biggest problem. The police have been doing a great job. The new guys are very tactical. Officer McKinley's been doing a great job. He'll park his car and he'll walk and knock on the doors. He's very smart. He's military, and he uses that training to his advantage. I've seen a lot of changes in the police department. It's getting better. It's not going to happen overnight. So please, guys, please, Socorro's growing too fast. It's growing too big. We need more police. And that's all I got to say on that item. Thank you.
Tom Hick. Mr. Hick, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, council members, Mayor. I'm up here seeking guidance. I had mentioned last month that I was interested in what we might do to start a farmer's market in this area. I mentioned it, but I don't know how to go about getting things done on, putting on the agenda, see if there's any interest in the local people. And so tonight, I'd like to offer my services to research, do anything, but I need some guidance on, because I'm not in position for knowing the rules, regulations of government and how all that stuff works, but I'd like to find out. So again, tonight, I'm talking about our area here that looks to me like the area could use a little upgrading. I know there's some issues about it being a historical society or a historical deal where you can't do certain things, but I'm thinking that the community would benefit greatly if we could come up with some sort of farmer's market and expand this area and involve the schools and the children. And I offer my services tonight. If someone can give me some directions on how to proceed, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, those were all our speakers.
Item number 5, presentation by Karina Rivera from Honorable Will Hurt's office to present the City of Socorro Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition, accompanied with a flag flown over the United States Capitol for the City of Socorro Courthouse, requested by the Socorro veterans.
Thank you, Mayor. Last Saturday, I was honored to present Adriana, the city manager, a flag flown over the U.S. Capitol for the Socorro Courthouse. Thank you all for letting the veterans meet here. Today, I want to present you, Mayor and Council, with a flag flown over the U.S. Capitol for the city of Socorro. And also, if I may, I also want to honor and recognize one of your own, a City of Socorro employee, the IT director, Mr. and Staff Sergeant Esteban, for his service during in the United States Army. Thank you all for all you do.
If you don't mind, I'd like to elaborate on piggyback on her presentation. I'd like to thank City Council, the Mayor, City Manager, and staff for a great job, Police Chief, and Police Department. We've come a long way, and thank you, Congressman Hurd and Congress. We're moving forward. It's been a fight for all of us, but for the first time, I can honestly say we're headed in the right direction. and things are changing for the positive quality of life of Socorro. And thank you to Congressman Hurd and to Congress, and thank you, Police Department. And
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant.
Thank you.
Moving on to consent agenda, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 11, discussion and action to approve Resolution 595, a support for the El Paso County Water Improvement District Number 1's grant application to the fiscal year 2020 Bureau of Reclamation's Water Smart Program.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. The El Paso County Water Improvement District is submitting a grant application to the Bureau of Reclamation for the concrete lining of the Isla lateral from North Rio Vista to Moon Road, and would like to get the city's support on this application. The concrete lining of Isla lateral is useful not only to conserve water, increase water efficiency, to support our local agricultural economy, but also it may facilitate any future expansions of the Rio Vista Bridge that is on Rio Vista Road. We do have Mr. Omar Martinez from the Irrigation District, if you would like to ask him any further questions.
Keep up the good work.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 12, discussion and action to appoint a city council member to the Mission Trail Comprehensive Master Plan Committee.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. The El Paso County has spearheaded the development of the Mission Trail Comprehensive Plan. They did present it to Council on October 17th, 2019. At this point, they are ready to move forward on the next steps of implementing the master plan. So far, they have developed a committee that is made up of the affected communities, specifically Isleta, Socorro, and San Elizario. And at this point, that committee is very ad hoc. It is still in the process of formation, but it's important that we appoint somebody from council in order to represent the community, and also to make sure that whatever the next steps are in parallel to what the goals of the Socorro community are. This is a very rough layout of the way the subcommittees are structured right now. I did put some copies in the back for the audience. So far, it looks like the El Paso County Historical Commission is at the top, and then we have a larger committee made up of all the communities and smaller subcommittees. They are currently meeting once a month, and they are made up of local leaders, elected officials. Their next meeting is on February 19th at 5 p.m. And I am here if you have any questions.
Mr. Rodriguez?
If council may, I would like to be in this committee for the historical.
you guys choose to.
Mr. Perez?
Just a question, Alejandra. So then, the meeting, well, we'll have one representative from the council. Would we be able to, like, for example, the Venture Trail is part of my district that I represent, and so at the 5 o'clock meeting time is a little tenuous for me because of work. Would I be, for the few times that I probably will be able to go, would I be able to go, not as, just as an observer, or?
Yeah, right now it's very loose, the structure. And then, of course, it's open to the public, the meetings. We just have to make sure we follow the openness meetings.
Right.
Yeah. But definitely, and then, of course, whoever is chosen from city council, we can always coordinate in case that council member can't make it with city manager to send one of our staff out to the meeting. The important thing is to make sure that the voice of the Socorro community is heard and that we're represented.
Thank you.
Mr. Duran?
I'd like to have Mr. Perez on this committee. Reason being is he's the longest serving member on this council. He lives in the area. Were you born and raised here too?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have deeper roots than that. And I think his objectivity that we've seen, I think it would be very, very helpful to have him on this board, because like I said, he most of it is in his district, so he would be representing that, not only his district but our city, and he knows all of the ins and outs. He's seen everything that's happened over the last 70 years or however old he is. Close enough. So I would like to nominate him for this position.
Ms. Villalobos?
Did they mention any, like, a backup representative in case the first representative cannot be there?
No, as I mentioned, it's very loose right now. As they move forward through the process, I'm sure that they're going to develop a formal committee and with the bylaws of how the committee will be seated. But right now, it's a very loose structure since they're barely starting off. Anybody can attend.
Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mr. Perez to the,
Second.
can I finish my motion?
Oh.
To the El Paso Mission Trail Development Special Committee.
Are you okay with it? Was that
I'm okay. I just want to make sure that in those instances where I can't, I probably will be able to, if I know it enough ahead of time to be able to reschedule or amend my schedule, I think I can make it. But if I can't, I'll certainly let Adriana know with plenty of time.
And Mr. Rodriguez seconded.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 13, discussion and action to approve Resolution 596, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, Homeland Security Grants Division, fiscal year 2020 Local Border Security Program Grant for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. This grant application was actually awarded on August 30th, 2019. However, a resolution was not included in the application. Right now, we need the approved resolution in order to request reimbursement for the grant.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Yeah, it was already a motion.
Oh, it's already there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Item number 14, discussion and action to approve Resolution 597, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, Homeland Security Grants Division, fiscal year 2021 Local Border Security Program Grant for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. This is the same grant that we just approved the resolution for, except this is for fiscal year 2021. We are requesting the same amount of funds so that we can continue participating in this program.
Mr. Mr.
Just-
Perez?
Alejandra, would you just remind us más o menos the amount that we're requesting?
We're requesting, currently our active grant is in the amount of 65,000. We're also requesting 65,000 for the next fiscal year.
Thank you.
Just to piggyback on that, remember that when we go out for grants, they give you 3 years, so every year we're gonna have to come back and renew it basically. That's basically
It's more
what
of a
we're doing.
formality.
Yes, it's just a formality. Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 15, discussion and action to approve Resolution 598, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, fiscal year 2021, Project Safe Neighborhoods Program for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. The Socorro Police Department has requested assistance for the Project Safe Neighborhoods Program. We will requesting approximately $27,000 for the funding of a community safety awareness program. This is a pilot program where we request funds to purchase 25 home security camera systems that anybody in Socorro can apply to get the camera systems for free. We would pay for the camera systems and the installation of the camera systems. Everything that is recorded with the camera is the property of the homeowner. Should they receive a security alert, they have the availability now to share it directly with our Socorro Police Department. And if they record some kind of criminal activity with their cameras, they also now have the ability to share that video with our Socorro Police Department, but only when the homeowner decides that they do want to share that video. Anybody who signs up for this program would be on a voluntary basis, and we're thinking of targeting areas of the city that have a high crime rate.
That's very good. Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 16, discussion and action to approve Resolution 599, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, Homeland Security Grants Division, fiscal year 2020, State Homeland Security Program, regular for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We will submit a grant application to the State Homeland Security Program requesting $189,000 for the purchase of one mobile command vehicle for the Socorro Police Department. The Socorro Police Department identified the lack of this vehicle as a vulnerability in our response to terrorist incidents or active shooter events. This type of vehicle is special purpose and allows on-site platforms for command, control, and communications on the field during a terrorist attack, an active shooter event, or any other emergencies.
Excellent.
Rene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 17, discussion and action to approve Resolution 600, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, fiscal year 2021, Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Program for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. This is an application to the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Program. We will be requesting approximately $18,000 for the funding of overtime for law enforcement personnel to coach and mentor Socorro youth in a police athletics league. The Police Athletics League will engage approximately 120 Socorro at-risk youth in coaching activities and mentoring by law enforcement officers. This is an evidence-based practice that has been linked to improvements in the youth's personal and social development. And also, we believe that because law enforcement officers are actively engaged with at-risk youth, it will create positive relationships between the youth and law enforcement officers that may lead to a reduction or prevention of juvenile offenses.
Very good.
Rene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 18, discussion.
At this time, Mayor, can we we entertain on moving, item number 34 behind 19?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Item number 34?
34. After 19, yes.
Rene Rodriguez?
Aye.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Ralph Duran?
Yes.
Victor Perez?
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 18, discussion and action on approval request to waive event permit fee for San Felipe de Jesus Catholic Church on May 15, 16, and 17, 2020.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mike being the city planner. We are requesting that this item be deleted in accordance to the ordinance that stands and gives the prescription of how to submit the permits. We failed to notice that there is a requirement that it should be no more than 90 days or less than 30 days prior to the actual event.
Oh, okay.
So in our haste to be proactive, we have the authorization of the planning supervisor to put them on the agenda. So with this item and the following item, we're asking to delete individually, and then we'll bring them back at the appropriate time.
Good, Mayor.
Motion to delete item number 18. And-
Second.
No, we have to do them one at a time. You could actually do both. Oh, 18 and 19.
Second.
Rene Rodriguez?
Aye.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Ralph Duran?
Yes.
Victor Perez?
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 34, discussion and action to direct staff to research or to adopt an ordinance that grants the city of Socorro the waiving of all or some permit fees to all registered nonprofit organizations operating within our city limits.
Mi nombre es Noemi Reza y estoy aquí porque
Un momentito,
el
señora.
Departamento de
We need
Agricultura
a motion.
Un momentito, primero, ahorita le hablamos. Un
Motion
momentito.
to approve.
Second.
Ahora sí.
Ok, mi nombre es Noemí Reza y vengo aquí para por el cobro que se hace para poder poner mis dos high tunnels. El Departamento de Agricultura me dio dos high tunnels que miden 30 por 48 y el fin de mi fundación no lucrativa es para enseñar a los niños a plantar y también para usarlo como terapia. Voy a tener también, va a ser como una farm pequeña para que tengan los niños terapia, los niños que tienen autismo y cualquier persona que quiera ir a tener terapia en mi farm serán bienvenidos. Y me está cobrando $1,036 con 80 centavos para poder poner mis dos high tunnels. Y quería ver si por ser una non-profit podría ser waived the fee.
Mr. Perez?
Señora, ¿qué es lo que quería instalar?
Es viveros, high tunnels. They're to grow vegetables and plants inside.
Oh.
So the weather doesn't
Like a
damage.
greenhouse.
Exactly. But
Okay.
they call it a high tunnel.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
invernaderos.
greenhouse.
Ah,
Yeah.
invernaderos.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ms. Villalobos?
So, it's not particularly, she's speaking of her situation right now. I'm speaking for the other situations we've spoken before. When I put this item, it was in general. Oh, my time's up?
No.
Yeah, your time's up.
When I put this item, when she came to me and spoke to me about her dilemma in starting this nonprofit where right now she doesn't have funds, the government has already authorized her to have like this greenhouse or these two little greenhouses. But in order for her to start her operation, she needs over $1,000. We've spoken about this before where we are always waiving for nonprofit organizations some kind of fee. We've spoken about maybe streamlining it where it is at the level of planning and zoning and not here. They don't have to come here. And this is why I brought this up to ask if we could start a list or have our staff look into changing the ordinance and how we're gonna change it. You know, what is it that we're gonna allow and not allow?
Mayor, council doesn't have to, you can waive it, but there's a legal issue, there's two legal issues that
I agree.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Before that, the items that were before us, there were what, $35? The ones that we deleted. You know, those are the things we've waived. We haven't waived anything above that. So I get it and I understand.
Ms. Mayor?
So, we'll have to direct staff and see what we can do. Because this is something out of the ordinary that we don't ordinarily do and that we haven't done. We've only waived permit fees for certain things, and that's all we've been doing. But this is something different. But we can certainly direct staff and see what can we do if we chose to do so.
Ms. Villalobos?
And I get it, and I thought of that myself, but we waive every church every time they have an event, $35, $45. If we go back and we check to see how much that we've actually waived for them for every event, you know, we can pretty much come up to that maybe we've waived $500, $600 since I've been here. But this is a one-time fee that they're asking her to pay for each unit. It's 500 and something for each unit. But we're not talking about just her item. This is a general request. We're not talking about her item. We're talking about a general request. Mr. Maldonado was going to speak as well. I don't know why he left. He wanted me to move the item next, right after public speaking. But I thought it would be best that we wait for item 18 and 19 to go through before 34. And so therefore, he was going to request to also, because he's gonna come up here, once he starts getting the funds for his organization and ask for permit waives. So I thought maybe we should just streamline it now instead of having our staff going through all the, it's not trouble, but all the work of having the petitioner come and sign and complete and come here and ask us for, can we waive this, can we reduce it? Instead of that, let's be proactive and streamline it.
Mr. Duran?
What is the $1,000 fee for, and who does it go to?
To the city. It's 36 cents per square foot. And because the measurement is 30 by 48, and it's gonna be just covered with plastic. It's just tubes with plastic, just to grow inside the vegetables. And I can teach the kids or whoever comes.
And these are at-risk kids, kids with
Autism.
Special needs.
Special needs.
Exactly.
I think, $1,000 is not going to make or break the city, but it will make a big difference in these children's lives. And I'd like to volunteer also. I'm a farmer, and I'd like to help you with aquaculture, vermiculture. These are all things that can help.
That.
So count me in.
Thank you.
Mr. Perez?
I like the idea. I just want to make sure that we standardize
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And part of that, and then maybe an application process. And to, for example, to provide a narrative of what kind of project it entails, or what the project entails, so that we can take it on a case-by-case basis. I'm not comfortable with giving blanket approvals.
I agree.
And so I think that before we make any decision, I'd like to hear Mr. Martinez and then develop a systematic approach in doing this.
Ms. Villalobos?
And thank you for bringing that up, because if you guys would have read my summary, it states that it has to be a non-profit organization that is registered. Obviously, the government has already given her these 2 units. Obviously, she's registered, and she has proven to them that it's going to be an organization that is going to benefit the special needs, the special needs patients that are gonna come to this facility. We don't have something like that here in Socorro, so I would, really strongly ask that you guys look into this, and I like to go into executive now so we can talk about it. But yes, I did that, I put that in there. It's not just anybody. You have to be registered and approved, okay? Here in the city of Socorro.
Well,
Do
at
we
this
have a-
time, can we make a motion to move to executive?
Second?
to consult with our attorneys.
Do we have other items that we need to talk about?
Mr. Rodriguez, so you're withdrawing your previous motion, right?
The what?
You're withdrawing your previous motion?
Yes.
Can we go into executive session for all the items?
Yes,
Seconded by
so moved.
I'll second. I don't know if anybody else did.
No, that's fine.
Rene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Cesar Nevares is absent, Joel Duran,
Yes.
Victor Perez.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.